When you write the equation of a line, you can answer in several different forms. When I say both forms here, I mean slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and standard form, ax plus by equals c. Usually it's easiest to start in slope-intercept form. If I start in slope-intercept form in this one, I have an x number that I can plug in, I have a y number I can plug in, and I have a slope that I can plug in. I will use those three things together in the equation and solve for b. Y equals mx plus b turns into 2 equals 5 times negative 3 plus b. And if we solve for b, we get that b equals 17. So the equation for this line, going back to y equals mx plus b form, and using the m and the b that we have, is y equals 5x plus 17. To change that into standard form, I need the x's and the y's to be on the same side of the equation, and I need the x coefficient to be positive. So you can do it lots of different ways. I'm going to subtract y from each side and get 0 equals 5x minus y plus 17. That's actually the way your book writes standard form. Typically, I will write standard form with the constant term on the other side. Either one is correct. It's just two different ways to interpret standard form. Notice that all of the coefficients here are whole numbers, and the coefficient on x is positive. If you have 2 points, you can use the 2 points to find the slope. Remember, to find the slope, you're going to do y minus y over x minus x. It doesn't matter which y number you use first, as long as the y number that you use first is coming from the same point as the x number you use first. So in this case, I could either do 8 minus negative 1 over negative 2 minus negative 1, or I could do negative 1 minus 8 over negative 1 minus negative 2, and either way, I'm going to get the same right answer. The slope of this line is negative 9, no matter which way you figure it out. Now that we know the slope, we're going to pick one of the 2 points. It doesn't matter which one we pick, but we'll plug in the x number for x, the y number for y, and the slope in, and we'll be able to figure out what the y-intercept is. Negative 1 equals negative 9 times negative 1 plus b. So negative 1 equals positive 9 plus b. And b equals negative 10. Plugging in the slope and the y-intercept, we get an equation of y equals negative 9x minus 10. There's the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. For standard form, since I want the x coefficient to be positive, I'm going to add 9x to both sides. And then I'm done. 9x plus y equals negative 10. One note about writing the equation in standard form is if you had started with a line like y equals 1/4 x plus 6, and you were trying to get that into standard form, remember that in standard form you cannot have fractions. So to get rid of a fraction, you are going to multiply everything by what's in the denominator of that fraction, and make sure you multiply all of the parts. Now the fractions are cleared out, so now we can just move the terms around to get the x's and y's on one side and the constant term on the other side. You always want to have a positive coefficient on your x term. That's how you would handle it if there were a fraction involved and you were trying to change from y equals mx plus b to standard form, ax plus by equals c.